Today's webinar. Today is March 23rd and it's 2 p.m. and we'll give 1 minute for people to log in to get their notifications. And today the topic will be digital marketing. What is it good for anyways? Well, do you know? So I've been asking people, what does that mean? It's very hard to define. So let's see what it means for everybody here and people in general. Like I said, it's something different for everybody. And just going to try to open up your minds a little bit today and make you think out of the box, sort of. Ways to perceive digital marketing that you would not normally perceive. Okay, 1 minute is up. Let's begin. Welcome to Digital Marketing. What is it good for anyways? Question number 1. Ask yourself, what is digital marketing? I've been asking this question a bunch of people, and everybody I meet lately, I try to ask them this question. I've got responses of it's e-commerce, it's Amazon, it's a bunch of data, statistics, numbers, electronic, online stuff. It's kind of like people are disassociated almost with that term. So I'm going to try to cover some, and hopefully it's not going to... Today I'm not planning on doing a full half hour or 35 minutes like last time, because the topic is a little bit briefer. But again, I'm just going to try to open up your mind. And these are the topics that I want to be talking about. Digital marketing, a different perspective. Those 6 things down there, those are things that are digital marketing. Things you may not be perceiving digital marketing as per se, but then when you think about it, when we get into it, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's right, it is. And that would bring it more home, the idea of digital marketing. Well, number 1 is networking. Number 2 is it actually is in-person meetings. Although it's digital marketing, it still leads to in-person meetings, follow-ups, meetings, services, networking, in-person meetings. It's actually a phone book. Imagine that. A business phone book. Digital real estate. Did you ever think of digital marketing as real estate? I mean, now with the banks issues and stuff, people want to try to get into real estate business. Well, one option is to do digital real estate. Touch points. That's a sales term. It's something, you want to be able to, if you want to make an effective sale, you need to touch people. Contact with your customer or target audience as much as possible. The more touches you make, the more chances you have of making a sale. And the next thing is, one of the big uses, and I'm sure you're probably aware of this one, but it's customer service. Customer service and support, you could say. People need something from you, they need to talk to you. Well, the easiest way to get access to you today, because everybody's on a phone, is digital marketing. So let's get on with it. Networking. Well, you got networking, the traditional networking. It's BNI, Rockstar, various networking events, chambers of commerce across the country, and you try to attend social events where you meet more people. Well, that's all networking. That's what you imagine under networking. And many of you do that. Some people just love to network. So it's basically they're chain networkers, or they have a habitual networkers, I guess you could say. But you could do very highly effective digital marketing networking. The number 1 that comes to mind when business to business is, of course, LinkedIn, because you're here now, you're watching this webinar on LinkedIn, and we talk, we follow up. I go to networking events, and we have a local person here in Raleigh that does the LinkedIn networking triangle, and it's a combination. And so, like, you meet people through LinkedIn, and the only reason why you meet them, or you try to meet them, is to get with them in person. But you cannot always catch up to somebody, stop at their office, and it's hard to catch people. So the best way to prepare is just to do LinkedIn networking. You get into a lot of people, and then you can only meet with 5 or 10% of people, but hey, 5 or 10% of 10,000 is still pretty good. Next one is Facebook groups. Facebook groups is something, it's a service that Facebook started trying to get local people together and, based on interests. And they have a better or worse record with it, but they do, and it works. It's a great way to get into groups, meet with people, and then you go and have a cup of coffee. You go to a movie, you go to the park, you can play sports and stuff like that. That's what you do. Anyway, so that's Facebook groups. That's a great networking tool. Another one would be Meetup. Meetup is a very good one as well, because Meetup, it's basically Facebook groups sort of on steroids. Because while Facebook, like I said last week, Facebook is used in various ways, generally for personal stuff, and Meetup is Facebook on steroids because it's people go to Meetup, they expect to hook up based on interests, whether it's political or it's artistic, sports oriented, or just meditation. You always find a group in business building, business linking, support, education, trainings. That all can happen on Meetup. People go there because that's what they expect. They expect to join groups based on, for example, even heritage, cultural heritage. And there's people, and then they get together. Like, for example, we do have a Chega group that I've now kind of got involved with. They didn't have enough meetings, so we have every Friday. We do meet up. So I use digital marketing. I set up an account. I was looking for who else is of Czech background in Raleigh, and I found out there's a group of 600 people, and on Meetup, but they don't meet regularly. So I was like, let's talk to them, and I was like, let's make one day that we're just gonna meet at a certain place. Let's have all the other events occasionally that are having buses. I'm gonna be one that's gonna be doing the Fridays events at blah blah blah. So okay, so that's where we are. That's where we go. That's where we meet. So digital marketing, and we have Friday night beer and wine based on digital marketing. Eventbrite is a great tool also to support events, to promote events, to sell tickets to your events. So, for example, if you do an educational webinar, you're going to charge money for it. Eventbrite will take care of the ticket sales if you don't have a contract with something. So that's a great one to use for networking. And again, it leads to either online or in-person follow-ups, meetings, and stuff like that. Then the other ones you may not know about, I'm not saying I've tested all of these, but I'm getting ready to test some of these other ones. Is a Shaper I've had for years. I did make a few good contacts with it. Then you have other networking digital marketing groups or apps that you would not normally expect, and those are the Common Connect, GroupMe, Bizabo, Summit Sync, Nudge, 1 Million Cup, Let's Lunch, Brella, and Bova. So if you're doing digital marketing to meet people, it's called networking. And if you meet them in person, that much better. But you could do Zoom calls, of course, and stuff. But that's networking. And again, here, in-person meetings. How do you get that? Well, there's an app for everything. We all know that. Like, if you ask anybody, like, how do you solve this problem? Well, there's an app for that. Well, if there's not an app, there's at least a website. So, again, if you want to meet people, you make sure you have either an app or a website where people can just come to you and order your service or get in touch with you in one way or another, and then you can meet in person. And the solution to that is, you have a lot of scheduling apps and parts of websites, and when you go get a haircut, whether it's a facial massage or whether it's getting my son's skates sharpened, whether it's all sorts of stuff. But digital marketing leads to in-person meetings through scheduling, for example, because again, normally in the old days you have to pick up a phone or at least send an email, which also would kind of be digital marketing, but have to pick up the phone, call the person. If they're not there, you got to leave a message. They got to call you back. Blah, blah, blah. There's a whole process. We all know that process. And so, if you do digital marketing right, you're more accessible. You get more appointments, more meetings, because the advantage of scheduling, of course, is that your calendar is there. And if somebody registers it and then schedules a meeting, then that time slot gets blocked. And the next person that comes in 5 minutes later is like, oh, yeah, okay, that time slot is already taken, so I got to take another one. Easy as that. It's just got to be set up properly. Digital real estate. Now, that's a big one. You want to buy a domain name? They're cheap. So maybe that's part of the reason why people don't see it as a great asset, because you buy something for $10, $12, $20, 52% of the domains are on .com, but you get all of these different domains. So when you're buying a domain name, for example, you gotta buy. I'll give it for my example. I got a website that's No News to Us, and the No News to Us, I bought it on org, com, and I believe EU or something. So I have like three. So you always want to buy more than one, because then you don't want to later get into like, oh yeah, we use this thing and that thing, and then then somebody else tries to copy you, and they'll immediately just change the end of the domain name. Now popular is IO, of course, and so but you reserve that spot. It's yours. It's tied to your name. You basically get a title, just like with a regular real estate, except it's processed differently. But it's a title. Nobody can take that away from you. It's tied to your personal data. It's tied to your address, your business number, and if somebody wants to your email, of course, too. If somebody wants to change that, they could steal it from you. So that's well protected, and it's like double, triple protected, and you get locks on your domains and stuff like that, much like you could buy insurance to secure a title and make sure that nobody comes in later. So same thing. Now you look at the most expensive domains. Well, the most expensive domain name that was ever sold was $872 million for cars.com. And there's a list of other 10 top domain names beyond this one. It's 49 million, 35 million, 35.6, 35, 30, private jet, voice, internet.com, 360. I mean, for most of you, you're not going to get this high. You're not going to buy a domain that you're going to sell for $600 million. That's rare, of course. There's only one that was sold above 100, as you can see officially from public records. That's not to say that that there were not probably private sales that maybe occurred, but with these high numbers, it's less likely. The thing is you buy a domain for $10, but by investing in it properly, by having a good website, by having a good design, by getting a lot of traffic, by building up your business, your domain it's like when you rent an office, okay, let's say you buy a building to have an office there. Well, that's your physical real estate, but then you have digital real estate. And digital real estate also increases the value of your business. Obviously, it may not be 12 million, maybe only 5, 10, 20, 30, 50,000. But when you go sell your business and you have a properly set up digital real estate, domain and website and all the functions and features, your business goes up. Your regular business, your physical business, brick and mortar business goes up by 20, 30% value. It could be up. So if you're looking then to build a business and then sell it in a few years, as soon as you build it up, if part of your business is not digital real estate, well, you're missing out a lot. But the website equals like a building. If you're gonna buy prime time real estate at the ocean, beachfront property, you're not gonna put a tent on it. Maybe temporarily, but of course it makes more sense to build something nice to it. So you got a real estate, you can put a mobile home on it, you can put modular. Or with digital real estate, you could do custom. Well, of course, you could do custom regular too, but I'm saying the best thing you can do for your digital real estate is do a custom website. If you're using one of these modular things, they're good, but they're not going to go up in value as much. But if you do custom, if you take care of it, if you build it, update it, work with it, get a lot of traffic going through it, get people interested, and you build up the name, your domain name's value is going to go up. And B, your regular brick and mortar business is going to go up. So yeah, think about it. Digital real estate. Who would have imagined? And this is also one thing, this is not about buying domain names and just reselling them. There's a lot of people that made a lot of money like that years ago. There's people still that invest that have for example, a couple of hundred, maybe a couple of thousand domain names bought and just waiting for the right people to try to get that domain name, they can sell it. So they do make some money. It's kind of like the EFTs that's been the fad of the last year. So there's things that work like that. And that's also a separate business altogether, but that's not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about more, you want to have physical real estate as part of your business, but you also want to have high quality digital real estate as part of your business. So it's a real estate investment. Buying a good website is an investment into real estate. Phone book. Who would have thought? Phone book. For those of you that remember 10, 15, more like 20 years ago, 15 years ago was about the time, because that's about when that 2007 comes from, is we used to have the thing called the yellow pages. The yellow pages are good. They were great. Because it's like, if you open up a business, you always wanted to purchase a listing in the yellow pages. Because if you were not in the yellow pages, nobody found you. 87% of the people in 2007 were looking into yellow pages to find business. Whether it's a car repair guy, whether it's a plumber, whether it's a painter, whatever. People use the yellow pages. Well, you move forward a couple of years, a decade or so. There's no data found in recent years on the use of yellow pages. I do have a copy because I found it in the local food line, like among the real estate flyers and brochures. There's yellow pages, and there's people that actually still use it. What the reach and impact of it is probably pretty low. It's more like just be out there and in there. And there's an online version of yellow pages which probably has some effect, but again, it's nothing compared to Google, which has dominated the whole market. And I've been talking about it now. I've had a YouTube Shorts video, and Google has 40,000 searches per second. What does that mean for you? Well, again, it ties back to your digital real estate. If you don't have your digital real estate set up properly and a Google business page with reviews and stuff like that, and like all the proper settings and all the information, you're basically not in the yellow pages. I mean, again, years ago, it was like, well, I start a business, I have to get into yellow pages. Today, I need to get into digital marketing. No, I don't need digital marketing. I have a brick and mortar. I have a local little store, brick and mortar, and people come in and they're all nice. I'm like, yes, but you're not in the phone book. Well, no, I did buy a listing in yellow pages. Well, try to get into the big boy yellow pages. I mean, that's Google. You need to be on Google. You need to register. You need to set it up properly. And you do want a good website that interacts, that Google then ranks higher, and that's what the entire SEO is just the registry. Nothing has changed. The yellow pages is still around, at least the notion of it. But the idea is still here. The concept works. It's just not in paper. It's in Google now. So that kind of shifted. So digital marketing is the yellow pages. If you're not in it, you're not in business. And maybe you are doing some business, but if you want your business to go up by tens of percents, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50%, get in the yellow pages, get in Google, get a business page, and get on with it. Because you're going to see a big difference. Touch points to make a sale. Well, how many touch points does it take? Well, the numbers vary. It's somewhere between 5, 7, 8. Somebody says 10, 12, but depending on the industry. Generally, the broadly accepted term is the number is 8 touch points to make a sale. Well, digital marketing, just the ones that are over here, is out of the 20, a lot of those are digital marketing aspects. So if you need to touch people in 8 places or 8 different times, there is a list. And look how many of those are. These are the widely considered touch points that lead to a sale. They're I took this from HubSpot, I believe. It was a list of things. I was like, well, let me use this. And it's social media. I mean, just social media in of itself, I said that last week, is a couple of hundred platforms of social media. Of course, the top 4 or 5 that matter, but those are all touch points. So if you're trying to make a sale, you want to touch as many people as possible. You're not going to do that while sitting in a brick and mortar office or just calling. You could do it just by reach out by calling. However, you're not going to get that impact. I mean, you want to the quality of the touch matters as well, but you want to make it where you're going to touch people 4 or 5 times just using Facebook. You could use ads and stuff, but you still need to touch those people. Social media, online advertising, digital marketing content, company events is an offline, of course. It could be an online. I mean, this is a company event, but peer referral, that's always a good one. But again, that's, for example, on a Google business page, that's perfect because it's like, people give you reviews, and then other businesses give you reviews, and, customers, clients. And of course, contact with sales rep counts as a touch, and that hopefully usually leads to a sale, or hopefully more often than not. You could produce product catalogs, but again, those don't have to be offline. They don't have to be printed. You don't have to be finger hot, just mail out hundreds and thousands of these pages of stuff that usually end up in the garbage, because then you go to finger hot website and and that's it. That's all you need. And then of course e-commerce, product reviews. Again, that's a part of the Google setup, or it could be part of Facebook, and it could be part of even on LinkedIn, of course, how many followers you get and stuff. So, you send out letters. All these things are just touch points, and you got to use those to make a sale. Customer service. Most companies, and you probably noticed this, but again, it's digital marketing is customer service and customer support. You want to be in touch with your customers. You want your customers to be able to reach out to you, ask you, and get a quick reply. So the easiest, rather than sending an email, waiting for somebody to reply, rather than getting on the phone and spending hours with them on the phone. Well, today, a lot of companies switch to Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Twitter, web chat boxes, CRM widgets. Those are great for the great part. You could just set it up and you could have automated AI-powered help and customer service where the basic questions get answered automatically, highly personalized. Signal, Viber, WeChat. Those are all great little apps that help you increase your customer service and support. And that's important because that's where you get customer loyalty. When they get good service, when they get good support, not everything always works out, but you need good customer support, which is part of digital marketing, and that will increase the way you can solve people's problems is something that will increase your sales and customer loyalty and referrals. That's important. So, that's all about the experience. It's not about you have to be 100% times right, but you need to be able to correct it and quickly. Don't let your customers wait 6 hours to reply to an email. Boom. Get on Facebook, get on WhatsApp. I have this problem, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, sure, we'll get right on it. What is it? And they're like, A, B, C. Well, okay, here are the solutions. Or send the product back to us, we'll replace it, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, but you want high quality customer service. That's what digital marketing is. Anyway, thank you. That's it for me for today. I was going to try to keep it shorter. Let me know if you have any questions or clarifications. Comment, share, like. Look at our Global Productions YouTube channel where I started doing daily tips on digital marketing or anything online businesses and stuff. So I try to do that. It's a great way to promote your stuff as well. I can highly recommend doing shorts. I mean, the increase in views of the channel were in just 1 week that I was doing it just jumped up. So use it. Call me. Let me know. Reach out to me if you need anything. Follow our Global Productions YouTube channel. Like our page. Like everything. And let's stay in touch. If you need anything, ask a question. I'll reply right away. Have a great day.